Hey everybody, welcome to a Cricut craft tutorial. Now before we get started, if you are into crafting, this is the channel for you. So make sure you do subscribe and click the bell icon. It'll tell you when I post new videos. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we are going to make mason jar ornaments. They're really fun, really easy, and you can be super creative. So first thing that we have to do is we measured our mason jar lids, and I know that they're about 2.5 inches at their widest point. Remember, they are a circle, so measuring them can be kind of a pain. So what we're going to do is we're going to just open our shape, and we're just going to open a circle. This part is so simple. All we have to do now is just change the shape of our circle so that it fits inside of our jar lid. So just go up to where it says sizing, right up here at the top, and just go ahead and change that to 2.5. And that's going to make your circle the right size. So now the next thing that we're going to do is we want to put some sort of a shape or a design in the middle of our circle. So I'm just going to go over to what I have uploaded and see if there's anything that intrigues me. Let's open our view all. The nice thing is once you've uploaded these pictures, they're yours. So you can use them whenever you want to, and they're right there for you. So let's just see if we can find something that'll be pretty easy to stick in there just to give you guys an idea of what we're gonna play with. So let's just scroll for a minute. I got lots of Disney stuff. Let's just use, this bear. The bear is super cute. So we're just gonna insert the bear, and you'll see that he's kind of a little bit too big because remember, there's gonna be a little bit of a rim around it. So you need to make your image just a little bit smaller so that there's plenty of edging so that if you do have that ring around it, you can see your bear. So there we go. That's all we have to do for this part. It's pretty simple. And all we're going to do now is just click Make It. And I'm going to leave these as 2 separate colors so that it will cut on 2 separate mats. So let's just go ahead and click Make It, and I'm going to show you what it's going to bring us up. So it's going to bring us our circle, and then it's going to bring our little bear up. We are going to cut these on cardstock, so I'm going to go ahead and get the Cricut turned on. I'm going to load our cardstock, and I'm going to show you a really fun trick that you can do to sort of save yourself just a little bit of time. So I wanted to show you guys this nice little trick, especially if you're going to cut 2 colors. All I did was put the background up here, and then in the bottom corner, I put the color we're going to cut the bear. So when you go to load it, all you'll do is flip it over. Now, every once in a while, and I don't know if anyone is having issues with this like I am, but sometimes lately, when I go to hit Make It, it'll tell me something about my custom materials warning. This has been an ongoing issue with this lately, especially if I have changed the dial. So all you have to do is just go back in and reset. So we're going to go ahead and load our paper, and it's going to cut out our circle first. So we're going to make sure to load the burlap paper first. And all we're going to do is hit the Cricut button. And this is such a quick, easy project that it's going to cut it out super quickly. Especially since it's just a simple circle. We're going to unload our mat, and then all we're going to do is flip our mat over because this is the same spacing as that, so it will work just fine. And now it's going to go ahead and cut out the bear. This just saves you the trouble of having to unload this corner and reload that. And now it's going to go ahead and cut out the bear. I did not use a solid core paper, so you will see a bit of a white outline to this. I don't know how well you guys can see that on the camera, but I'll pull him off the mat really quick and see if you guys can see that a little bit better. He's not completely solid all the way through. So just make sure that when you're making your project that you know that the type of paper that you're using, and you're okay if it only has the red on the outside. So we're going to go ahead and peel up our other parts. And I want to show you something else too. If you're going to peel this off so that it doesn't curl, flip your mat upside down and actually turn your mat over and peel your mat away from your paper instead of your paper away from your mat. And that way it doesn't curl, or if it does, it's a very minimal curl. So I'm going to show you guys how to attach this, and we'll have this really fun ornament. First thing we're going to do is attach our little bear, and all I'm going to use is the Elmer's Glue Craft Bond, and this is the glue pen. It has a smaller tip, so it's easier to get to some of these little spaces, and all I'm going to do is just squeeze out a little bit, and then I just use the tip, and I just sort of spread it around, especially like to the ears and stuff, where you don't want like glue to glob off of it. And then I just do the legs and the whole body. And it doesn't take a lot of glue, just a little bit. And you can just spread it around because you don't want it too watery and you don't want it to get everywhere on your project. So I've got him pretty well coated in glue. And a lot of times what I find easier with these is I will take this bear and leave him down like that. And I'll flip the circle over on top of him. And I just sort of guesstimate where the center is. I'm not real concerned if it's not perfectly centered and it's really badly centered. And you can always slide him around and move him if you need to. It's going to leave a little bit of a residue, but it's okay. So there's our bear on our burlap, and we're going to let that sit for just a few minutes because we're going to need that to dry. And then we're going to put it on our ring. So you'll see it'll fit really nicely inside of the ring. And you're going to do the ring this way. And for that, we're going to use the hot melt glue gun. And then we're going to hot melt glue some ribbon to the top to make it so it has a hanger. Glue gun is now nice and hot. So we are going to take our glue gun, and all we're going to do is take our mason jar ring, make sure that this big fat end is out, so on the table. And all I'm going to do is just run a ring of hot melt glue around the inside. And I didn't let mine heat real well, and I think actually some of the glue slipped out. Every once in a while I miss just a little bit. We'll clean that up here. Be careful, the hot melt glue is hot. I let mine cool just a second before I did that, but you can see I've got a little bit, and I don't know how you guys can see it, I got a little bit around this edge. So all I'm going to do, this stuff dries pretty quick. I like it because it does that when you make a mistake. So I didn't put enough around there anyways, so all we're going to do is just make sure that we take our hot melt glue and we want to get it all the way around the inside and not on the outside. Not always the easiest task, especially when you got a hot melt glue gun, and ooh, that's getting warm. So be careful, hot melt glue is hot, hence the name. And then all you're going to do is take your design and just lay it on the inside and then lightly press around this edge. And then I did have a little bit of hot melt glue, just get right there. And there you go, guys. It is pretty much done as far as the outside is concerned in the center. But now we're going to put on a ribbon so that we can hang it from our Christmas tree. So I just got a little bit of thin red ribbon. I'm just going to cut a little bit off. And then all we're going to do, and I might have made this a little bit too big. I think I made it way too long. So let's cut that down a little bit more. We're just going to make it a bit shorter just because I don't want it to hang too far. And all I'm going to do is put a little bit of hot melt glue right up here on the top. Just a bit of dab. And we can cover this up later if you wanted to with either a bow or whatever. For me, I'm just going to leave it as is. And all I do is I take my ribbon and I sort of fold it over each other. And if you look, see how it's kind of, both pieces are touching? And then because the hot melt glue is hot, I'll just use the tip of my scissors to push the ribbon down into the hot melt glue. And we're going to let that dry before we hold it up by that. But once you have done that, and you can do this either direction, it doesn't really matter. You could even put a ribbon around the outside to cover it if you wanted to, like a fatter ribbon. But you guys can see this came out really cute, and it's super easy to do. Really fun craft to do. Only takes just a few minutes. Really fun. Let me see if this is dry enough to hold this from. Yep. So when you put it on your Christmas tree, it's just going to hang. This is a super cheap and easy craft and way fun to do with your kids. You could even let them draw. You could cut out the circles and let them draw their own ornaments for grandma, grandpa, teachers, all sorts of things. But it's super easy, really cheap, and really, really fun. I hope you guys had a great time learning how to do this. Have a great day.